What is the mind? Some more observations on that. The ripples of the thoughts and the counter thoughts together constitute the mind. Please understand my wording. What am I saying? Ripples of and. Now when I am saying ripples, then ripples arise on the river surface, on the ocean surface. And remember, the ripples is not the ocean. It's just one visible part of the ocean. Ocean is huge. So the thoughts which you know is just the surface. Mind is too big. Mind is the cause of identification of self with the gross body, and thus causes the attachment. See, one fine day, which you call happy birthday, in that happy birthday you got this gross body. Somebody has asked the question, how does the subtle body enters into the gross body? My dear, it is not the case. From the seed, the saplings come out. And the sapling in itself becomes a plant. And leaves and flowers and fruits. Everything is growing through the seed. So the seed is the causal body. And from this causal body, the apanchikrit subtle bodies, and from this subtle body, this gross body is found. Like you see in the fall, the leaves fall, but stems are still there, right? And sometimes some people cut the stems and the branches. Like in Ashram, we had this beautiful gulmohar tree. A huge wind came and it uprooted it. So we thought, why don't we fix it back? So all the ashram people raised the trunk back, and to make it a little lighter, they cut off all the branches, but they pulled the trunk back and put some fresh mud and earth and some fertilizer onto it. And maybe it grows. And it did. In 6 months' time, it started growing new branches, bigger, then leaves, and then flowering happens. So there is this one gulmohar tree which is kind of leaning onto the grass. It is that same tree. So it's little teda, it's not straight, but it's blooming still. As long as the roots are there and the trunk is there, new branches and new stems and new leaves and flowers will happen. So from the causal body, the subtle body, from the subtle body, the gross body. So gross body can be said like the leaves which fall in the fall, but the branch is still there. So as long your mind remains stupid, filled with ignorance, filled with attachment, lust, greed and ego, this mind will keep on growing new gross bodies. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam. See, when you say, I cannot live without my son, my daughter, my mother, my father, you are growing branches. So God isn't going to push you back in a new body. No. You will bring yourself back. Because to experience the sorrows and the happiness, you need a gross body. A mind, a chitta which is filled with desires. Not all desires will be fulfilled in one lifetime. Can it be? What a beautiful Hindi couplet. किसी को मुकम्मल जहां नहीं मिलता, कभी जमीन तो कभी आसमां नहीं मिलता, Not everyone will get their desires fulfilled. Someday you will get the earth but not the sky. And someday you may get the sky but not the earth. Hence everybody is incomplete. And to fulfill your desires, you need another gross body. Huh? Average gross body, Indian gross body, life expectancy as per the Indian government, for male it is 63, for female it is 67, average life. It's not general, I'm saying, average. And the way you people are eating polluted food, water and air, soon they'll have to decrease it. So many life-threatening diseases are, lifestyle diseases which are occurring in the people. Diabetes, hypertension, and so many more. People's bodies are dying pretty early. So your association with the gross and the subtle body is spinning you down again and again in a new birth, new body. With the misconception, the mind interacts with the outer world through the senses. Now the mind thinks my joy is in woman, in man, in house, in money, in fame, in politics. There are this president of a country who is 84 years old, not ready to leave his post, still vying and fighting. Politicians in their late 80s are not ready to retire. They have retirement age for everyone else, not for themselves. It's our present Prime Minister in India who has said that no aged politician will be given a seat. Very wise step. They grow old, but their mind is still young. The lust to have pleasures, sensual pleasure, the lust to own name and fame is so great. So the stupidities get carried on and on and on. And mind rushes after things, external world, to experience those fleeting pleasures. Time comes, the body dies, mind is still young. Hence, new body grows. Now that is also dependent on the kind of karma you have done. So according to that, an appropriate birth would be given. Now that's a very different subject. I don't wish to take it more. So your subtle body, gross body and subtle body. And this subtle body has sprung up from the causal body. Or should I say the seed? The seed from where this mind came out. Now let's go back to the Panchikaran process which I had explained. The undivided 5 great elements get from the Sattvaguni unit, the mind gets created. So your causal body is the root of the mind. Is the root of the mind. And see, you don't even understand your mind. How the hell you will understand the causal body? Mool agyan, the source ignorance, darkness. Agyan means not knowing. Not knowing can be loosely called causal body. Not knowing. Okay, you answer me quickly. Do you know where your past life was? Do you know where your next life will be? Do you know how many cells are there in your body? Do you know when you said no, how many cells died and you were born? So I can say this not knowing is the causal body. Even after listening about the real self, do you know the real self? This not knowing is the cause of the subtle body. See, in the wakeful state, your intellect gathers all the information and is functioning through your body and is using the senses. But in deep sleep, the intellect, along with the reflection of the Brahm, goes into dissolution. In waking state, your intellect is functioning. Okay, let me use some props. What is this? I can show you a magic. Do you want to see? There is a secret in this box. Do you want to know? Well, if I tell you, then it won't be any more secret. What is this box made of? Yeah, take a guess. Silver, right? Did you have a doubt about some other metal? Could be, aluminium, maybe, but still it looks like silver. So are you sure it's silver or aluminium? Huh? Silver. And it's used for conceal. See how smartly I am doing my seva? Your intellect is functioning in deciding what the metal is. Until I told you, your mind can say, oh, maybe it's aluminium, maybe it is something else, maybe it is a plastic, maybe it is. But as I said, confirmed it, it is silver. Oh yeah, it looked like silver only. But in deep sleep, this intellect won't be there. Intellect goes into dissolution, deep into sleep. Then, have you ever seen somebody else sleeping? Have you seen? How ugly sometimes people look. Mouth is open, grr, grr, grr. They're snoring. Sometimes drooling. Sometimes their legs are going left and right. And sometimes they're scratching their big belly. Sometimes they're making strange sounds. And their mouth is wide open. Click some pictures of the sleeping person. And then show this person. See, this is how you look. That's the reason. You don't want anybody and everybody in your bedroom because you will look really ugly. A lady that day was telling me, she said, I took a nap in the afternoon. As I woke up, my daughter clicked a picture of me. I was looking horrible. Hair is all windy and wavy, and eyes, it's all bad, and all the freckles are visible, and the boogers in the eyes, and the booger in the nose. She said, I'm looking horrible. And I said, why the hell you have to take my picture? I can't be the sleeping beauty. I'm not, the princess who sleeps in beautiful and wakes up beautiful. Where did the intellect go? In sleep, the intellect went into dissolution. But it functions nicely in the waking state. So this decision-making faculty is called the intellect. And it makes some contemplation and then makes the final decision. Remember, mind can never make a final decision. Most of the time your mind is wondering, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Should I do this? Shouldn't I do it? It keeps on doing this ping pong game until the intellect awakens and says, okay, stop, let's do it. Then sometimes people come to me, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? I said, you do it. Because if I say you do it and you fail, you will put all the blame on my poor head. I am not ready to play this guilty game. Thank you very much. Should I get married or not? He says, your life. I know somebody, he got engaged. He brought me beautiful Om diamond pendant. And he said, that's for you, Gurumaa. I got engaged. I said, wonderful. Then after 3 months, his engagement broke. Was very upset. But then after 9 months, another time he found another girl. And then engagement happened. But this time he never came to me after engagement. He came to me after marriage with his wife and brought me another pendant. Gurumaa, this is our loveful gift from both of us. Nice, very nice. Then after 9 months, his marriage broke. I'm very unlucky. Very, very unlucky. So this boy was little upset. I said, don't be. Life is great. You are fine. You will meet another girl. Why worry? In one of my chela was sitting with me. He said, and yes, we'll get third pendant. Carry on, no problem. Someone says, I don't want to get married. I said, that's your decision. But don't put it on me. I won't make decisions for you. No, but with your grace, everything will be good. And I'm saying this publicly, don't come to me for grace because now you know. I'm unlucky. Mind is always confused. Intellect is the decision maker. Mind has more fodder for confusion coming from the chitta. So people who don't have ability to keep a calm mind, who don't train their mind well, they are always confused. And intelligence grows only then when you train your mind with yogic practices. Now, this is not the time to teach about all those things. But again, I'm giving you the hint. Listen to Patanjali Sutras or Bhagavad Gita. You'll get enough information what to do. So, we come to this point that this grass body is not you, this subtle body is not you, this causal body is not you, and you are the sakshi, the witness of the gross, subtle, and the causal body. Wow. Your vision is always focused on to the body or mind and the external world, never on to yourself. Family, friends, food, party, things, objects, relations, money. Mind is always focused on the external world. And all this is perishable, transmigratory, not even real. So switching your focus from this objective world to yourself, should be your focus. Disassociating yourself from the subtle body. How? By doing contemplation on what I'm speaking now. For your help, I will suggest, please do Swadhyaya, self-study of Vichar Chandrodaya. If you have done a proper Swadhyaya, reading, understanding, contemplating again and again, then things will become more clearer to you. Also, the small practice which you did now with me, do this practice more often. There is one method which in my app, Amrit Varsha, in the meditation section, there is one method called Nishkriya Dhyan or Beyond Boundaries. Use that. Where we begin from the gross body and then move to the breath and then to the mind. And it helps, my suggestion, my voice is there. It guides you how to go into. And as the mind goes calmer and thought-free, that's the time when this gyan which you have heard will bloom. When mind was filled with thoughts, you were watching that. When mind became calm, you watched that. When mind went into silence, you are watching that. The mind is your field, and you are the observer of this field. But you can't straight hit the mind. So you have to begin from the gross body, then to breath, then to mind. And to make an access to your subconscious, you need to practice Yoga Nidra. Are you getting, Karen, what I'm saying? Yeah? You have to practice it. It's not that when you are there with me 3 days, you do Yoga Nidra and then you forget about it. You cannot do that. It has to become part of your, life. I sometimes say you can forget eating, but don't forget your practice. Sit down, do your pranayam. Now there are two ways to do pranayam. One is you are just mechanically doing it. Another is while the body is doing the pranayam, mind is guiding, taking deep breath in and out. You remain the silent witness of this process, of the breathing, of the senses. Now when you close your eyes, your mind can project some things and objects and scenes in front. When you open eyes, there's a whole wide world is in front of you. But whether you are seeing this grass world, or whether you close your eyes and your mind throws the projections, know this is all separate from you. And you are the purest of pure, the truth, Sat, Chit, Ananda. You are the ever-conscious. You are the Sakshi. You are the observer. Wow. Watching this whole drama of infinitum. Waking state comes and goes, dream state comes and goes, deep sleep comes and goes. Mind moves through these 5 stages of Kshipta, Vikshipta, Muda, Ekagra, Nirodh, and you are there watching this whole drama of the mind. Disassociate yourself from the gross and the subtle and the causal, and be established in your true self. With this, we come to an end to our today's subject of subtle body and causal one. See, I don't leave you that easy. My hook is there. My fishing rod is there. And Machli phasa li ab to. I am reminded of this beautiful Hindi film song. Quite a film buff. Film songs. बहुत सुंदर. सुनोगे? हैं? अजी रूठ कर अब कहाँ जाइएगा, अजी रूठ कर अब कहाँ जाइएगा, जहाँ जाइएगा हमें पाइएगा, अजी रूठ कर अब कहाँ. Where will you go after leaving me? Wherever you will go, you will find me. I'm recalling one of my neighborhood auntie. A very lovely old lady, but very boisterous Punjabi woman. She used to say that the Mahatmas are like ghosts. Don't be in love with them. They'll never leave you. They'll possess you. Don't be ever in relationship with the Mahatma, because then you get possessed. And they'll keep on haunting you. Even in the sleep, the Mahatma is coming. So in your thoughts, in your practices, and you see somewhere death happening, and you will be reminded of Gita, Gyan, and you see some new baby born, and you will be reminded of Gyan, and you see people suffering, you will remember the Gyan. When you see somebody idiotically laughing on stupid jokes of somebody, you will be reminded of Rajasik Guna, which is making those people act in a silly way. And you will see a kind, gentle, meditative sadhu, you will be reminded again of your Guru and the knowledge that that's the beauty of life when you are Sattvaguni. So this lady used to say, Santanal pyar ni paida poot hunde ne. Don't be in love with the Mahatma, they're like ghosts. It's a very loveful way expression of saying it. Because in villages, they believe that if somebody is possessed, then that ghost will never leave that body. So he used to say this. Our master was somebody who wore a turban. And he always used to wear a yellow turban. We used to call him Maharaji. I was maybe, physically speaking, 8 or 7 years old when I saw him first. And always in that yellow turban. And this old auntie used to say that wherever I see anyone wearing that yellow turban, I would rush to meet that person thinking it is Maharaji. And it used to be somebody else. But wherever I would see yellow color, I would go crazy. So much of love for her Guru she had. That yellow color became the color of love, color of devotion. And wherever she would see this, she would go. And one time, she actually held the feet of that person doing the pranam. And she lifted her head and the person was saying, "What are you doing?" She said, "Oh, sorry. I thought it is my Maharaji." So much love. So this journey doesn't end over here. It will still continue. We'll see in near future when can we have another session. Then we'll surely do it. So practice what I have talked about. And it will take a while to understand and grasp what I'm saying. It's very challenging. It's not easy. But you have to be patient to understand. Because this wisdom, this great knowledge can be digested only when your mind is fully prepared and your intellect gets polished and is pragya purna. Not before that. So it takes a while. So with this, I end these 2 sessions, and here we come to an end. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnmudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.